Alright, the next concept I would like to share with you is one of the most common illusions and concepts done in the robotic style, and that is the head-neck isolation. And it looks like this. This movement is done a lot in the robot style, and it comes a lot in handy when you're building your freestyle and if you want to create the illusion that your body is made of different gears and levers. Alright, so how do we practice that? So what you're going to do is place your hands on your chest to help give you some stability. And I want you to focusing on a point in space, and then using the muscles of your neck to help shift the head to the side like this. And then back to center. I'll try the other side. Remember, you don't want to tilt your head too much. Don't let it go side to side or turning the head either. You want to keep your face and your head on that same plane. And you want to feel this pressure on the side of your neck. I'm literally feeling my muscles being pushed over this way and then shifting back. It may take a lot of practice and devotion, looking in front of the mirror, testing yourself to see if you really are getting it. And if it's something new to you and you haven't done this yet and it's still very awkward, you find yourself turning and twisting like that, there's a little trick, a training wheels technique, where you take your hand and place it over your head like this. Now try it. Side to side. This movement is done a lot in some belly dance and Middle Eastern type dance style. And for some reason, when the hands are up here, it helps people understand and feel the movement better. So if you're getting it now I invite you to take your hands and place them on your chest and still do the movement. Now, keeping the movement, maintaining that form, drop the hands to your sides. If you're still able to shift the head left and right, without the hands, without the training wheels, you now have it down. Once you have that part, now it's time to focus on the torso. And it looks like this. And you want to try to keep your head in space this time. So how you do this is very similar to the head neck, except this time you're keeping the head still in space and you're shifting the core. You're focusing on your shoulders too and the side neck muscles to help shift to the side. Except you're not quite completely keeping the head and neck still. What creates the illusion is that I'm also using my head and neck, but going on the opposite direction, while my torso goes this way, so that it creates the illusion that your body is isolating itself side to side. For example, let's say I'm going to isolate my core this way, and I go zhut. At the same time, I want you to shift your head and neck that way, pushing against the side neck muscles here. Yes, and come back to the middle. Now go back to the other side. And back to center. And you want to feel the torso isolating as much as you can. You can even use the side muscles along your body to help push the body to the side. Remember to not have that head or face tilt in any direction. Maintain stillness on the same plane as you move side to side. It may take a lot of practice and devotion, standing in front of a mirror, recording yourself with video, and also some flexibility in the body as well. When you do your head neck, you have to open up your neck muscles. If you have too much rigidity and soreness and tension in your neck muscles and shoulder muscles, this movement may not look as good as it can be. So doing a lot of stretches and opening up this part of your body will help create this illusion even better. The torso as well. Now we can do the same concept now. Instead of staying in this plane, we can do from a higher plane to a lower plane. So stand like this with your feet staggered, one foot in front, one foot in back. And we're going to have our hands at our chest for stability. And now we can go downward like this. Head comes down, torso comes with it. Head comes down, torso comes with. Head, torso, head, torso, and then going back up. Torso, head, torso, head, torso, head. How you do that? Well, going down with the head and neck is easy. You're just creating the head and neck to go forward, kind of like the duck neck. Except this time you're going forward as far as you can, sticking your neck out forward, but keeping the torso still. Now the tricky part is bringing the torso down. When I bring my torso down, I bring it down to my head and neck. But at the same time, I'm shifting my head and neck back. Just think back. And you're kind of creating this constricted thing in your voice. But that's what happens when you shift your head and neck and sink it back into the back plane there. So your head going down, and your torso is going down too, but the head and neck go back like that when the torso comes down. Then when the head goes down, just the head. Then when the torso comes down, goes back. The little slide of the head and neck going back as the torso comes forward is what creates the illusion that you're creating even more space between your movements, so as to create the illusion that your body is made of mechanical joints and engineerical stuff like that. Okay, so have your hands on the chest for stability, and we'll begin. Head. Now torso comes forward, head and neck go back. Head goes forward. Torso comes down, head and neck go back. Head goes down. Torso comes down, head and neck go back. And further, head, torso. Now let's go back up. We're going to force the torso to go back while the head and neck go forward. And then bring the head back into it. Torso goes back, head goes forward. Head goes back. Torso goes back, head goes forward slightly. Head comes back. Torso goes back. Head comes back. And there you have it. That's how you practice. It's a really simple technique. It just requires some practice and training and flexibility in the body to really get it down nice and clean. Now, once you're able to do that in a nice and clean way, having that picturesque form and a good illusion, then you can make it even better by adding other concepts on top of it, such as the hand control concept, as we did earlier in the robotic movement blueprint. That control, that hand controller that moves and manipulates your body as if your body is being controlled by that hand. We can do the same thing, now add it, combine it with the head-neck isolation, and it would look like this. Grab the head, imagine there's a string pulling it, shift to the side. Now take that hand, bring it to the chest, shift to the side. Now we could add with the hip. And then the knee. Bring it down. Hip shifts to the side. Torso. Head. So you're creating this imaginary string or a pole. Torso. Hip. Torso. Head. You can apply the same hand control concept to this motion, going forward, up and down. So now we have two hands. One controls the head, one controls the torso, and it goes like this. And then back. And that's the hand control concept. Now, going even further into an even more advanced technique, you can create circles with the head and neck. So if we're holding our torso in place and we go circles, we can create this windy type movement, circular type movement. So practice that. Doing the same thing now with the torso, holding the head and neck in place, now with the torso. The same dynamics apply here in the circular movement, just as we did side to side. Whereas as the torso comes forward, my head and neck go back. As my torso goes to the side, my neck and head go to the opposite, and so forth. So you're rotating like alternating poles. And if you're able to create these circles, it will now lead you to the ultimate head and neck isolation of this popular movement. You can even go further and add arcs to the isolation downward like this. And that is a more advanced head and neck variation, isolation. So, this movement comes a lot in handy when you're roboting. Or and there you have it, folks. The head neck isolation.